That I'm everything that is wrong with women these days. Listen to what I'm really saying. Listen all the way through.
Oh boy, here we go.
So a couple months ago, had lost my job, and I needed to borrow money from someone until I was able to pay them back. So I borrowed money from my man, right? My man at the time, and I kind of felt weird about that because he knew I really needed it, and he never offered to give it to me. He waited until I asked, and then I basically had to beg because he was, asking all these questions. I don't usually give money out, this whole thing, and it already gave me the ick. Like literally, when he said I don't usually give money out, I was just like, okay, and I was just not going to talk to him. Like I was going to stop talking to him because after that, it's like, if I know you can help me, and if you don't want to, then we're having a little bit of a disconnect, and I'm gonna find a man who will. It's not that deep. I was gonna get mad. I was just gonna, start talking to him. But then he decided he was gonna give me the money, right? No, he wasn't gonna give it to me. He was gonna loan it to me. Whatever, cool. I said I would pay him back at the end of the month. The end of the month has come. I've been thinking about it. I have a lot of things I need to get done, and I'm still really behind in bills because of the fact that I lost my job. So I'm trying to play catch up, and I finally got a little bit of money, right? So he texted me this morning, and he's like, "Oh, has your check still not cleared yet? I haven't received the money," which already is a sassy way of asking for the money back. What the fuck? But granted, he shouldn't have had to ask. I should have just sent it to him. So anyways, I sent him the money, but the problem is right now, I kind of have the ick, and I don't want to talk to him anymore.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Am I everything that's wrong with women these days?
Yes! 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 Yes!
Because he did nothing wrong, and he was actually very helpful. It was a lot of money, and a lot of men wouldn't have even, loaned it to me, and he did, and I'm really grateful for that. And I think he's a great person. He's going to make whoever he ends up with very happy. I just personally feel like he's not, I don't think that this is going to work. Not that I was expecting him. I don't know what I was expecting. But for him to text me, I don't know. It just was just the fact of me giving him the money back is weird because, I'm still kind of struggling, and I'm still kind of trying to get back on my feet after being, laid off. And so I could really use that. And he knows I could really use that. And he still asked for it back, which he's well within his rights because we did have a deal, and he upheld his side of the bargain, but I upheld my side, and I did what I said. I gave it to him immediately. No,
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Fat bitches need to shut up, bro. I'm not gonna, in all respect and all honesty, not gonna lie, it be a lot of the fat hoes talking. You fat bitches need to shut the fuck up. On God.
Very few things in life are as damaging to you as an untrustworthy woman, an ungrateful woman, a woman who plays the role just long enough to gain access to your four most valuable resources: your money, your energy, your attention, and your time, your meat. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams for dropping that on us. This chick asked the question, is she indicative of what's wrong with women in the modern era? Absolutely. Because they bring so little value compared to the women of just a generation ago. Because they sit around with their hand out thinking that money someone else made is tailor-made for them. See, it's unfortunate that we live in this current economy. People getting laid off every day, grocery prices and gas prices through the fucking roof. And she got laid off from her job. I've been there. Some of you guys have too. It's not fun. But if you persevere, you bounce back, you recover the lost ground from having lost your job. So she asked her significant other, her boyfriend, for the money. Now he knows her better than we do, and he didn't volunteer that information. He certainly didn't volunteer those funds. She had to open her mouth and ask for it. Why? Because closed mouths don't get fed, and her big ass ought to know that. Trust me, she didn't get to be well over 240 pounds by being disciplined with her fork and spoon. But that's a side point. The main point is she gets upset she had to ask for it. And because he knows how effectively irresponsible that she is, he tells her, okay, I'll give you the money, but it's a loan. Why? Because if he didn't get the money back, he could say, and I hope he had his phone recording this thing. She didn't say so, but I'm hoping he did. Hoping they live in a one-party state where he can record whether she wants him to or not and have it on tape, where you are going to pay me back every dime I give you. And if you don't, I'll see you in court. Maybe that's why she actually came up and coughed that money back up. But that somehow created an ick for her, so she said. An ick, fellas, to do what you said you were gonna do? An ick to hold up your end of the bargain? What? See, that's the biggest difference between women and men, fellas. Women have an emotions-based reality. Men are forced, because we have consequences for our actions, to live in an honor-based reality. If you're the kind of man that doesn't do what he says he's gonna do, you will pay the price, either with your health, with lost opportunities, or depending on who it is you made that deal with, you might lose your life. If you owe Big Tony his money and you don't pay him, well, he just might find a way to see about your kneecaps, so forth and so on. But yeah, she's saying how I can't wait to break up with this guy because he asked for money back that I said I'd pay back, and because I had to pay him back, he's a good man for somebody else. And then she did what they do. I call it the goofy giggle. This is what happens when a woman knows that the bullshit that she's saying out loud, that she knows she doesn't even believe herself, has been exposed. This is when you can't even keep a straight face long enough. Because what happens is a woman will say something and she knows it's fucking stupid. She'll say it, and then hopefully someone who speaks womanese will repeat back to her what she said in plain and simple English. And it's am I what's wrong with women? Yes, you are. Because the part of the conversation, the quiet part spoken out loud, is that a fat woman on the SMV, the sexual marketplace value, is the exact same thing, the equivalent fraction, the 2/4 equals 4/8 of a broke man. Yeah. If you are the person on the SMV and you're overweight as a female, oh my God, there's only 1 of 4 men who want to touch you with a 10-foot pole. Number 1, especially if you got an attitude like her. Number 1, the kind of men who have absolutely no other options. Number 2, a man who does not have a true understanding of his own sexual marketplace value. He could get way better than you, but he doesn't believe in himself, and his self-esteem is in the toilet. So he's dating a fat woman instead. Number 3, a guy who is down bad, and he's getting whatever he can get. Because the truth of the matter is, women sleep with who they want. Men sleep with who they can. And number 4, you got guys who are legit chubby chasers. They're a minority among men, but they're out there. But these guys have other problems that go unresolved. But my only thing is, it's one thing to be an overweight woman. But if you're kind, appreciative, if you're the kind of woman who brings value in other ways, then fine. A man can learn to love a woman who's overweight and look past that situation and say, you know what? She might not be a swimsuit model, but she brings value to me and she treats me well and she's kind to me and so forth and so on. But that's not what's going on here. This chick right here is ungrateful. She's ready to cut bait because she said that if he didn't give her the money, somebody else will. Well, you know what? Simps are everywhere, so she's probably right about that, unfortunately. Because we as men have to learn to raise up our standards. I understand that guys are down bad out here. I understand that we're in the middle of a loneliness epidemic among a lot of men in the West. I get that, and I understand it fully. But we've got to get better, fellas. We can do better than a woman who weighs almost 300 pounds, who is demanding money that she never earned, is upset that she agreed to pay that money back and had to, who's putting her E. coli catchers in her mouth. Ugh. Ugh. Disgusting. Not to mention that 6-pound keloid sore at the bottom of what would have been her Adam's apple if she were male. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. I'm disgusted by her appearance. I'm disgusted by her attitude. I'm disgusted by her entitlement. This woman is a walking indictment of the Western woman. She's an indictment on everything they've become. And she, whether she wants to be or not, again, is a teachable moment and a flat-out commercial for the passport bros. And the passport Joes, for that matter. My advice to you guys who are in the West is simple. You need to be at least as ruthless with these women as they are prepared to be with us. Our friend, the ex-boyfriend, stood on business, and he made her pay for what her mouth said that she would. And he was supposed to. She wants to jump ship, and in doing so, he just lost almost 300 pounds. Not around his midsection, but around his wallet. Guys, if you don't have the money to leave the country, I recommend you put the time in at work. I recommend that you ask for every stray shift that payroll can handle. All the overtime, weekends, nights, holidays. Pick up a side hustle. Do what you got to do. Get your money right, man. And go where women where you can get 3 women for the same weight as this one. Go where the women are grateful for anything that you give them because they were taught to be from day one. Go to a country where women are raised to be wives, not jump-offs and financial burdens. Because think about it, man. She said out of her own mouth it was a lot of money. I didn't hear her say nothing about them living together. So what, he's going to pay his rent plus hers, his car note plus hers, gas, car insurance, groceries enough to feed this fat motherfucker. All that is an extra bill out of his pocket he did not anticipate. Yeah, he wants his money back. And yeah, he's asking for it back because you said you'd pay it back. And what does she do? She drops a gay slur on him, calling him sassy. For what? Thinking that the girl he has entrusted his heart to is going to honor her word? Thank God you're leaving his life. Thank God you're leaving his life before you gave him a child, or before he was stupid enough to put a wedding ring on your finger and sign that contract with the government that would have gave you all kinds of leverage over him and his future. Thank God you are removing yourself from him and sparing him from the devastation you are sure to bring. If not by sitting on him, then by using the family courts as your sword and shield. Thank you for proving how useless you are, and thank you for leaving his life as quickly as humanly possible. Yes, you are a perfect example of how almost useless the Western woman has become. She threw away her entire relationship in a failed attempt to finesse this man. He saw it coming, his boundaries in her way, to get access to his resources. Because she didn't like him, certainly not to the degree that a girlfriend. And so now she's gone, and good for him. Hopefully he'll put electronic and physical barriers to her trying to spawn. Life inevitably becomes difficult for her. Learn the lesson, fellas. Treat American, Canadian, and English women as businesslike as possible. Move every chance they get that they are unworthy of your resources and unworthy of commitment. With that said, that's my time.